Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Pressing Matters. I am your host, Daniel Torres. This is episode 29 of Pressing Matters. Welcome in. I hope that everyone is doing well. We are about to head into, here in the United States, Memorial Day weekend, long weekend. So happy to get some rest, and I hope you all will be getting some rest this weekend. And of course, Memorial Day for all the troops, men and women who have served this amazing country. Obviously, God rest their souls, but for their families as well. And I hope that we all take time on Monday just to remember those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms here in the United States. So I hope that is in mind this weekend, as we may have barbecues or go into the pool. I know I will be doing a run club, 2 or 3 miles Saturday morning, coming back and join the pool a little bit. Bought an Australian Wagyu steak, skirt steak. Gonna put that on the grill, watch the Formula One sprint race in Montreal, watch the actual race on Sunday. And but just keep in mind, what we should be thinking about this long weekend. We are almost, I keep saying it every episode, but I'm just so dang excited. We are almost there to the FIFA World Cup. It's about to be June. This is, honestly, I cannot wait. The hype is starting to build up as we get closer. I know that it has not felt like that, throughout this 2026 so far, building up to the tournament. Obviously the talk has been about the prices of the World Cup, and how's the quality of soccer, how's it going to be with the expanded tournament. I understand all that, but at the end of the day, man, like, just the inner kid within, I'm almost 20, I'll be 28 this year in July, but the inner kid within me, it's the FIFA World Cup. It's here. It's been 4 years since Argentina won in 2022 in Doha, Qatar. So it's here. I'm excited. By the way, update from the last episode. I got a text message this morning saying that a CVS by my house had stickers. This is probably 9:30 a.m. I was like, I am on my way. I got dressed. I went over there and got some packs, and I was able to fill out the book today. I did order, because I have not, literally since this morning, I have not been able, my local Publix, my local Walgreens, even CVS, I have not been able to find stickers at all. So I said, screw it. I went to Amazon. Amazon released them, and I bought literally a whole box, so 173 packs. I think they arrive next weekend, I want to say. So yeah. That should be coming soon. But yeah, I was able to finally this morning get some packs from CVS, and thank Jesus, because falling a little bit behind here. I'm not sure if I'll complete the whole book by the time the tournament starts, but hopefully by the time the tournament's over in July, my book will be complete. But anyways, let's get into our first pressing matter on the agenda. We have an MLS club here in Miami called Inter Miami, and we talk about them every week, obviously, from their matches. And this past weekend at New Stadium, Sunday Night Soccer version on Apple TV, Inter Miami hosted the Portland Timbers. The Timbers, coached by former Inter Miami head coach Phil Neville. And, well, I could tell you that coming into this match, I already knew, and I felt it within me, that it was going to be Inter Miami victory, just because you look at Portland so far this year, and they're not that good. They're not that good. Obviously, former Inter Miami player Kamal Miller is there. Former Inter Miami player Ariel Lassiter is there. They followed Phil Neville to Portland. I will say I was working in the club when Phil Neville was head coach. And I can't lie to you. Phil is a fantastic person. He's a great person to be around. I liked working around him. he was always had that positive reinforcement, that positive energy. Obviously, in this business, you need results. And ultimately, that's kind of what cost him his job, was low results. And obviously, Messi coming in, they wanted a coach that was going to mesh well with him, and that wasn't Phil Neville. I actually saw him the year after I was done working with the club at the MLS All-Star Game in Washington, D.C., over at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. We were both inside the Admirals Club Lounge of American Airlines. I don't know where Phil was going. Obviously, I was heading back home here to Miami. I walked in to the lounge, and I was making my way over to the food section, and I looked to my right, and I literally see Phil Neville there, just sitting in the lounge looking at his laptop. And obviously I went over. He remembered me. I said hello to Phil and talked a little bit, and it was a good catch up. But yeah, he's in Portland now. And I know Timbers fans who, honestly, I will tell you that in this country, there's two fan bases that, for me, having traveled, there's two fan bases that I think are the best in MLS. And there's Seattle Sounders and Portland Timbers. Timbers fan base over at Providence Park is, man, they're one of the best. They're one of the best. And they traveled. We saw here at New Stadium, Portland fans traveled to see this game against Inter Miami. And the game itself, again, Portland frustrating me because I was like, they get the ball in the midfield. They don't know what to do with it. There's no creativity. It was so stagnant. Times where players just stood and looking around, looking for help, and their teammates are just standing still also. Every time they got the ball again in the midfield, play it back. And let's go back. And let's go back to the keeper and not pushing it forward. Very frustrating to watch from Phil Neville's men. And at a certain point, I was like, I swear to you that I think that I can play better in this Portland Timbers squad and just push the ball forward. It was atrocious football. Obviously, Inter Miami did well. Second half, even though Inter Miami was in the lead, there was a sense of what happened against Orlando in previous matches at New Stadium where they take the lead and then the second half, it starts to become a little shaky. There was that feeling. And so I full-heartedly, and I said this on Monday night on our Plug Talk Sports live show, I said that I felt that if it was a better team lined up against Inter Miami at New Stadium and that can take opportunities and make the most out of those opportunities, I could have seen that specific team coming back and giving Miami problems. But that was not the Portland Timbers. They tried. They had good chances, but they didn't have the quality to put the ball in the back of the net. So Inter Miami is going to take this victory. They're sitting second in the Eastern Conference. Nashville continues to lead. They continue to win. And so Miami plays second fiddle in the Eastern Conference. But this was the first win for Inter Miami at New Stadium, but not a lot of people were talking about it because they were talking about something else. Another situation that had arisen. What is this situation? You may ask, Daniel. I will tell you, folks. La Familia, the supporters groups of Inter Miami, for 84 minutes of this match against Portland, were silent. No flags, no chanting, no tifos, no drums. Why, may you ask? The supporters groups feel like they have been neglected. They have been disrespected. They have not been acknowledged for several games now since they moved into the new stadium. And obviously they were very upset after the disastrous loss against Orlando City, again being up 3-0 and losing 4-3 to your arch rivals, and your arch rivals becoming the first team to pull off a victory in new stadium. None of the players went over there. I believe it was only Noah Allen that went over there to say sorry to the fans. And so they were also upset. There was reports out there that they were upset that the club did not orchestrate an MLS Cup title parade like pretty much every professional sports team does. When they win a championship, they have a parade in the city. There was nothing from Inter Miami. They feel like this has become sort of a corporate bubble. It's all about the players that are on the field. It's all about themselves. When they score goals, they stated that they didn't even celebrate with the fans. They just celebrate with themselves. So they decided in this match against Portland to protest, and after the 84th minute, they became loud. They had a specific chant that said they just want the players to acknowledge them. They don't ask for much, just acknowledgement of the people who, do so much for these players. I don't think Messi received it well. There was scenes of Messi going like this towards the fans. DePaul on a corner kick showed him the badge and saying that they all play for the fans. After the final whistle, the players did go over. Messi, DePaul, Suarez kind of giving, their handshakes from kind of a further distance and heading down to the locker room after that. And there was a meeting this week between club representatives and La Familia, which is reported to have gone very well. We'll see what happens on Sunday Night Soccer, where they'll host the Philadelphia Union at New Stadium, which I think will be another victory because Philadelphia is doing absolutely terrible this season, and they're sitting at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. But what is my reaction to this? Obviously, I think in soccer culture, and this happens at the Santiago Bernabeu with Real Madrid, especially this season, which has been disastrous for Real Madrid, where the players go over to the fans and either acknowledge them or give them, an apology. This was specifically a thing that was created under Phil Neville's tenure at the club. And, yeah, I think that La Familia does have a right to voice its displeasure at this specific situation. Because, again, they are the ones that are showing up 3-4 hours before match time, setting everything up, singing for 90+ every game day, and not get acknowledged. And especially after a horrible defeat against Orlando, absolutely nothing. Obviously, this goes into as well, leadership on this team, not facing the media, not answering the tough questions. I agree with it. My question is, why now? Why after, or why at the Portland match? Why didn't they come out with a statement after this? Right after the Orlando match, why did they not come out with a statement? To be honest with you, didn't know about the protest till the day of the match on Sunday. That is my only question. Obviously, I saw a comment online talking about, you need to be careful because the PSG supporters, they didn't treat Messi that well. And, he was upset with it, and he left. And other comments was just shut up, enjoy him while he's here. He's performing on the field. That's all you need to care about. That's all you need to be happy about. I think if you're a hardcore fan, and this is your hometown club, and you're putting your blood, sweat, tears, time, and money into supporting this club, yes, a little bit of affection and respect would be nice back. You don't want to create it into a corporate, bubbly environment where it's all about the money. You don't want that feeling as a club. And so I think they do have a right to protest. My question mark is only when they did it. So it's an ongoing thing. We're gonna see how it progresses. Again, I heard that the meeting this week, between the La Familia and the internal leadership in the club, it went well. But obviously, I agree as well with what La Familia said, that they will hold it no more longer, that the club only reacts when fire arises, right? Or there's chaos. That things need to be done professionally and appropriately, and things to be addressed in that matter, not just when things are going wrong. So I agree with La Familia as well there. I think through my time in the club and seeing from the outside now, it tends to be the issue where the club tends to want to resolve things when things have gone sideways, not being on top of things and not on track of things. So that's my take on that. This past weekend as well, second item in our pressing matter here, it is Manchester City wins the FA Cup. They defeat Chelsea. Chelsea, obviously, we're going to get into it in this episode. They're going to have a new man in charge. Manchester City as well are going to have a new man in charge. Pep Guardiola, he hasn't come out and said anything officially, but Pep Guardiola, I think, is done at Manchester City. Obviously, we're going to get into this later. I'm not going to ruin anything, but Manchester City picking up the Carabao Cup, picking up the FA Cup, I want to say two trophies that aren't really that important. Then they get bounced out by Real Madrid, and not a very good Real Madrid, for that matter, in the UEFA Champions League. So, in terms of success for Manchester City, it wasn't really that good of a year. They did claw their way back in the English Premier League into second in the table. I believe they fell as far as fifth at some point in the season. But yeah, Pep Guardiola, it seems to be heading out the door. And this must have been his last hoorah here with Manchester City, was defeating Chelsea in the FA Cup. And having watched the match, there were some moments where I think that maybe Chelsea could have threatened. They could have been given a penalty, to be honest with you. But it was a beautiful goal for Manchester City to seal the deal 1-0. It was a back-and-forth match. I wouldn't say it was the most entertaining. I couldn't say that either team dominated. I think it could have gone either way. But just a form of brilliance in front of goal off of a cross and almost a back heel shot into goal is what gave Man City this title. So congratulations to the Blues, not Chelsea, but Manchester City, to the citizens on winning the FA Cup, probably the most historic tournament in the English Federation. Obviously, it's not as coveted as it used to be. But for me, it's still a big deal to win the FA Cup with how historic it is. So, France has dropped its World Cup squad. And obviously, there are some teams that have dropped their squad as well, which the big one is England. I cannot believe that Phil Foden's not going, Harry Maguire's not going. Those are two big names, and I'm not going to lie, that bothered me. And I don't like Thomas Tuchel. I really don't. He's beefing with Jude Bellingham as well. And if Bellingham, I'm just saying, if it doesn't happen, but I think it will happen. If Bellingham doesn't get selected for the England squad, England is going absolutely nowhere. But he will be. But still, very sad for Foden and for Maguire. I believe both of those guys deserve to be there. So, France, they dropped their World Cup squad. Honestly, if you guys looked on my social media, I dropped my prediction bracket of the FIFA World Cup, and I had the final being France versus Portugal, with Portugal winning, Spain coming in third, England coming in fourth. And that was just my prediction, doing it for fun. But it could very well be France. Their team is strong. You look at the goalkeepers here, Mike Majan, Robin Rissier, Bryce Samba. Then you got the defenders, and this is the official World Cup squad dropped by France. Defenders, Lucas Digne, Malo Gusto, Lucas Hernandez, Theo Hernandez, Ibrahima Konate, Jules Koundé, Maxime Lacroix, William Saliba, Dayot Upamecano. Midfielders, N'Golo Kante, Manu Kone, Adrien Rabiot, Aurélien Tchouameni, Warren Zaire-Emery. And then we go to the forwards, Magnus, I can't even say that, Ucliuche, Bradley Barcola, Ryan Cherki, Ousmane Dembélé, Désiré Doué, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Kylian Mbappé, Mikel Olise, and Marcus Thuram. Guys, this squad is absolutely ridiculous. You're going to tell me, just reading the forwards, you're going to tell me there's a defense out there that has to deal with, let's say, Mbappé, Doué, and Dembélé. And then to make it worse on the bench, you got Barcola, Cherki. Obviously, I think Olise will start, but you got to deal with him as well. Guys, this squad, when I saw the squad dropped, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous how OP they are. And again, they might be going to their third straight FIFA World Cup final, which is ridiculous to say. Third straight. And for Mbappé, again, won his first World Cup in 2018, had an amazing hat trick in 2022. They lost that one. Do you imagine just telling your grandchildren one day, my first World Cup, I won it, and then I went on to play in 2 more World Cup finals consecutively? That's just some Pelé stuff. Honestly, that's what it is. It is some Pelé stuff right there. And so I really do think they have the chance to do it. Will they do it? We'll see. Obviously, Mbappe's second half of the year with Real Madrid was not that good. They still have one more game to go against Athletic Bilbao. Let's see how he does there. But yeah, that form is very important heading into the tournament. But it's not like they don't have any other threats and they're just going to rely on Mbappé. You look at PSG playing in another Champions League final where Dembélé will play, Désiré Doué will play. What more can you ask for Didier Deschamps in his last FIFA World Cup? It would be a nice send-off to win another World Cup with the squad. And I think this team is ready. And they're going to bring in those beautiful Statue of Liberty mint green uniforms to the United States, Mexico, and Canada. And I think they're going to have a good run at it. Obviously, the person who I did not mention that was left out of this squad was Eduardo Camavinga, who plays for Real Madrid. Yeah, listen, Camavinga, very, very poor season. A very bad dip in form from last year to this year. I think you can say that about a lot of Real Madrid players this year. I'm not mad about it. I don't think Camavinga deserved to be on this France squad. If we're just basing it off of performance, if we're basing it off of potential and what he can do, obviously, then yes, you bring Camavinga. But, Tchouameni got picked as well. And, yeah, he didn't have a great season either, and he got picked. So, Didier Deschamps, I guess he saw that Tchouameni would be more of an asset to his squad than Camavinga would. So, even without Camavinga, there's no problem for this squad. So we're going to go into our second to last item in the agenda for Pressing Matters, episode 29. Former Real Madrid man Xabi Alonso has found a new home. We all thought it was going to be Liverpool. We all thought that he was going to take over at Liverpool, a team, a club that he used to play for. But no, Xabi Alonso is going to be the new man at Chelsea, which was a shock. Listen, obviously, things didn't work out for Xabi Alonso in Madrid, which I really, really wish that it would have. Obviously, not going to get into that, but a lot of internal issues. But I think that Xabi Alonso is one hell of a coach. You could just base it off what he did at Bayer Leverkusen. And so I really think that he's going to do great things with Chelsea. I think he's going to revitalize that team and try to bring Chelsea back into the European football. Obviously, they will not be playing in the Champions League next season with the results that they had in the Premier League this season. So I really do think that Xabi Alonso is going to do a good job at Chelsea. And God willing, I hope he does, because if he doesn't, then his career is going to take a hit and it's going to be a downward trajectory for himself after what happened to himself at Madrid, which they asked him. They asked him, hey, what happened to you at Real Madrid? And he said, oh, Real Madrid? No, I can't say anything. So it is what it is, but I wish Xabi Alonso, he will always be a Madrid man. I wish him the best of luck, and I know that he will do great things with Chelsea, and I think this is a great hire for the club. And so this takes us to our final topic of Pressing Matters. It happened. It finally happened. Arsenal, after Manchester City drew with Bournemouth, Arsenal are your Premier League champions. After all the hate, after all the times that they choked, they are finally English Premier League champions, and they have a chance to do the double because they are in the Champions League final against PSG, which, by the way, I would like to see Arsenal win, but I think PSG is going to win. They're too strong. But you never know. But they did it. They finally did it. The monkey is off of their back. The pressure is off of their back to winning that league title. And, man, seeing so many fans out in North London celebrating, singing North London Forever was amazing to see for the club. A club that, they looked rejuvenized. And credit to Mikel Arteta, head coach. I mean, again, I'm not an Arsenal fan. They knocked out my Real Madrid last season in the Champions League. They got players that I like. I like Bukayo Saka. I like Gabriel Martinelli. I like Declan Rice. He's done a fantastic job. Obviously, Arteta is a guy who learned under Pep Guardiola, was in his staff at Manchester City. He's built, Arteta as well, former player for Arsenal, he has built that club up into what it is today, and understanding what Arsenal is, the culture, what exactly it needed. It may have taken him a little bit of time, but he got it done. He got it done. And congratulations to Arsenal. Do not let everyone make fun of you. Do not let anyone put you down. You guys did it. You guys were ahead probably since beginning of the start of this season. And so enjoy it. And you got one more. You got one more big title to play for. Enjoy it. I know what it feels like. Obviously, I didn't have that feeling this season. But Gunners, you guys deserve it. And with that, we are going to go into our team of the week. Our team of the week comes from the country of Scotland. And why am I doing it specifically in Scotland is because I have a colleague in my master's program. His name is Brian. He is on the board of this club, and it is Celtic. Celtic has just won last weekend the Scottish Premiership, and I saw a nice picture of him in our class group chat holding the trophy, and they bring home the title. And they've played fantastic football, and we'll get to see them in the UEFA Champions League next season. And just massive congratulations to the fans there, and to my colleague Brian, who is over the rainbow right now. Just so happy for his club and being on the board as well. And he's also happy, I mentioned, I'm going to be seeing Scotland in the World Cup. And he was very happy and talked to me about the fans and whatnot. But congratulations, Celtic. You are my team of the week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has concluded our time here on Pressing Matters, episode 29. I'm your host again, Daniel Torres. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Please tune in to all of our shows here on the Plug Talk Sports Network. We appreciate and just love every single one of you and all the support you give us week in and week out. Remember to always stay tuned to all of our social media and, again, all of our shows here on the Plug Talk Sports Network. I hope that you have a great weekend. Have a great Memorial Day. And once again, God bless our troops and God bless the United States of America. See you guys next week for a brand new episode.